I'm Kyle Floyd, and I'm standing here at Maloney Field, affectionately known as the Swamp. This facility is in its 41st year hosting Gator baseball. Unfortunately, as we have all learned, it's also in its last year hosting Gator baseball, while arguably fielding the best team that we've ever seen here. They're led by head coach Tony Schifano, who joined the club in 2015 and has led them to their greatest successes in program history. That includes 2018, when they made their first CCAA tournament. That also includes last year, 2024, when they made their first ever regionals. They've got big plans for the rest of this year, but for the moment, I wanted to take some time to come out here, spend a day at practice, and talk to Coach Schiff and some other players about the people and the culture responsible for this program's growth and success.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players come to mind. The first one's a young man named Jackson Critch. He was an infielder here, and he was a part of our first recruiting class.
Yeah.
And he ended up being an All-American. He came in as a freshman and worked hard, and then the pandemic hit, and he was our first guy to go Division I.
Oh, yeah.
He transferred out and went to UC San Diego and had a fantastic year. So he kind of set the precedent here. Then we had a kid named Brady Dorn come in, and he was our first big junior college commit. He ended up being an All-American with Critch on the same team. But then ever since, I got to mention Daniel Santos. I mean, recruited him 4 or 5 years ago, and he's walking out here as a career hits leader. I recruited Nathan Shinn during the pandemic. He's walking out of here with the second most innings pitched ever and the most strikeouts ever in history. Michael Cunningham I recruited during the pandemic. Michael Cunningham holds the career home run record. And so,
who are some of the people who really stuck out to you as being important in your journey?
Yeah, coaches here have been great. I mean, they really ride for their players, and they've been awesome in terms of the recruiting process, me trying to, continue my career outside of SF State. They've been my #1 supporters, and that's really all I can ask for.
Yeah.
But in terms of players and other people, my recruiting class of 2021, there's still a core group of guys that I really like.
Yeah.
Daniel Santos, Mickey, Nathan Shinn, and Andrew Silva. Those guys have been my closest buddies.
Yeah.
And of course my roommates like Justin Johnson and so many others. But I would like to thank the Silva family. Those two come to almost all of our games, and they kind of acted like as my parents who can't come to every game. So she's my mom away from my mom.
Yeah.
And they just had me over for Easter dinner, and it was great to be able to spend time with a family that cares about me so much, and it feels like it's my mom, when I see her on Easter. So
I would say I'll start out from my freshman and sophomore years. A man named Gary Grosjean, who's been here from 2022 and 2023 seasons.
Okay.
He was kind of my mentor, became really close with him. Kind of whenever I had rough starts or I was kind of confused on my career or how do I get through certain obstacles, he was there to kind of calm me down, gain some perspective. I would say he's not a pitcher, but Sammy Gonzalez, same thing, was here 2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
The way he played and went all out kind of rubbed off on me too.
Yeah.
And I would say, and then from here, the guys I've been with, Michael Cunningham, Andrew Silva, Mickey Radonovich, Nick Hughes, Daniel Santos, those guys kind of came in with me. So we've all stuck together all 4 years here, and they become my brothers.
I think the best thing about Gator baseball is how all of us, we all have the same goal in mind. It's not to go out and sweep every team. It's not to go out and win every ball game. It's, we're here because we want to be here, and we truly enjoy being around each other. I think we're super, super close, and I think that makes us very good.
Yeah.
We're all very good baseball players, but at the end of the day, we are all very close with one another. And I think it's very important to value the relationships you have with the people around you.
Yeah.
And I think we do a very good job of doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy for a senior like myself to just kind of sit back and, just kind of think, just chill. Hey, you've done your job. Your 4 years are done. Kind of sucks, but I think it's easy to be selfish kind of towards these other guys who are struggling to find a new home for next year. Like I was saying, being a freshman right now, I'm trying to put myself in some of those guys' shoes, and it's really unfair. and it's unfortunate that they got to go through the process of almost being a high schooler again. Recruiting-wise, putting footage together, it's a lot. Still having to deal with school, student athlete, it's a lot. It's a bunch of hard work. Like working out, managing your food, working, extra time in the cages. It's a lot of work. So I feel really bad for the guys, but
Yeah.
I hope they know that I'm here for them always, and here to talk and anything.
And I always tell the guys, like, it's family is about unconditional love. You just, no matter what, you love each other. You're not gonna have everything you want in your life. You're gonna have disagreements with each other, but at the end of the day, we love each other. Sometimes you're not gonna like me, and you're not gonna like the lineup, or you're not gonna like your playing time or how I use you and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, we all love each other and we care about each other, and it really comes out when you watch us play.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's loud, we're respectful, we play with class, but we play hard. We run the bases hard, we hit with power, we pitch well.
Yeah.
I just think it's an exciting brand of baseball that I'm proud of that we've built here. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I think this is worth saying. I don't know how we're going to end up this year. I don't know number of wins, record, all that stuff, regionals, all that stuff. But I will confidently say this group of young men on this team might be the best group of young men ever put together at San Francisco State. And if you want to argue with me, just look at the record books.
Yeah, going out with a bang.
There's 4 or 5 guys that could win the home run record. Danny Murillo, I think, is one of the best players ever to put on an SF State uniform in the 70 years of existence.
Amen. These things, as you know, get treated like line items on a budget, but it's moments, it's memories, it's people, it's places, ragged as they may be, but you make it what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for
My
sharing
pleasure.
your time with me.
You guys, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Obviously, it'd be the perfect ending to this final season if the Gators can finish it off with a championship, but even if it can't, I keep thinking back to something that Michael Cunningham said when we spoke about this team all playing for the same thing, all working towards the same goal. If there's something that Gator baseball represents to me, it's that. It's that every one of the men behind me is working for each other. Every one of the men behind me is a product of the families behind them. Every one of the men behind me is a product of the coaches who have helped them, and all of them understand that. All of them understand their place in this community. We're not just losing a baseball team at the end of this year. We are losing that representation of community. I'd be a little bit more somber, though, if I didn't feel confident that wherever these Gators go in the future, they're going to bring that community with them, and their new home is going to be a lot better for it. I'm Kyle Floyd, reporting from Maloney Field. Thanks for joining me.